What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm going to give my predictions for game week 31 in the Premier League. Once again we start off at St James's Park. Newcastle Everton. I'm going with a 3-1 Newcastle win. I did predict this for that West Ham game and they won 4-3 in the end. Very entertaining. I'm not going to be sad if the game has as much entertainment as that one did. Anthony Gordon is suspended for the Geordies, which is really unfortunate against his old club. Everton winless in 12, 3 losses on the bounce. You don't want to go St James's Park, which have the best fans in the Premier League. When you're in that sort of form, it's going to be very difficult for them to get a result. Harvey Barnes looks really good. And although Newcastle have a lot of injuries at the back, Everton can't score goals. So something's going to have to give here, either Newcastle's horrendous defence or Everton's horrendous attack. Nottingham Forest against Fulham, I've gone with a 2-1 Forest win. I just think they need it a lot more. Fulham are mid-table, they're comfortable, they're not going to go down, they're not in a European fight. Forest are in very serious danger of going down. The City Ground, in my opinion, has the second best atmosphere in the Premier League behind St James's Park. I don't think any other stadium comes close to these two. And especially in these sort of moments, you know they're going to be up for it. And it's a sort of game where Forest cannot afford to lose. Fulham away from home are really poor as well. They did manage to draw against Sheffield United despite being 3-1 down. I don't think Forest would let a lead like that slip. They've got more than enough quality in their squad to set up Forest, but it's all dependent on Nuno here because it looks like a new manager bounce has gone. I don't know if everyone at the club is on the same page. Bournemouth against Palace, I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Despite these two clubs only being separate by one place in the Premier League table, there are 8 points between them. Now, with that being said, Palace aren't in any danger of going down. They're on 30 points. They're 8 points clear of the drop, but they're also 8 points away from Bournemouth. Bournemouth also won at Selhurst Park when Roy Hodgson was still in charge. Since Glasner's come in, Palace have looked a lot more solid. They've gone to more of a 3 at the back, which has helped them look much more solid defensively, but also allows them to create some good chances, with Eze being back as well. Mateta's looked very good lately. So yeah, it'll be a good game. Obviously, Slanky's on fire for Bournemouth. Semenyo is a very dangerous player. Burnley against Wolves, I've gone with a 2-1 Burnley win. Now, this is mainly because, like with a couple of other games, Burnley need it just a lot more. Wolves are mid-table, they're not going down, they're probably not going to get Europe. They also have no attackers. Like last game, they played a child as a defensive midfielder and a central midfielder / kind of a winger as their front three. But Burnley will concede to that because they're Burnley and they just don't know how to keep a clean sheet and they make too many mistakes. So I do think Wolves will score a goal, but Burnley need to win, man. They scored 2 against Chelsea when they're 10 men, so I feel like they should be able to get a couple here against a Wolves team that have nothing to play for. If Burnley don't win here, they're as good as down, but they have been getting points lately. They've unbeaten in 3 now, although there's all against London clubs, and Wolverhampton Wanderers are not a London club, so it might be a bit tougher for them. But it's a game they have to win. West Ham United against Tottenham, I've gone with a 2-2 draw, a very local rivalry here. West Ham won at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, although that was when Tottenham had a huge injury crisis, and also Tottenham were the better team in that game, especially in the first half. They were all over West Ham. I don't know how they weren't winning. Tottenham do have the full strength lineup now. Van de Ven is also back alongside Maddison, who missed that game. But at the same time, and West Ham also do have their best player this season, Areola, out injured. I know it's a bit controversial because Bowen's been fantastic, but Paqueta's been fantastic. Even Alvarez has been fantastic, but I actually think without Areola, they would be significantly lower down the table. I just think tactically it's a good game for West Ham because this is the sort of game where Son isn't going to have a lot of success because he's not good in the air. West Ham deploy a pretty deep block, which means that he can't run in behind. He might struggle, but at the same time, he has that long shot threat, as does Maddison. I think Maddison will be the key for Tottenham getting anything here. He hasn't been great lately, but he has world-class quality. He's a world-class player in my opinion. At the same time, Tottenham are incredibly open at the back, and West Ham have players like Paqueta, Bowen and Kudus, and even Antonio, who can really, really damage you on counter-attacks. So to be fair, I think West Ham are actually more likely to win this game. Arsenal-Luton, I've gone 4-1 Arsenal. Luton have been very good against the bigger teams, against every team they've played. You know what? As much as I don't like them, I have to give them respect for going for every game, giving teams a hard fight. I just think this Arsenal team have too much about them, especially the way they're playing currently. They've won all but one game in the Premier League this calendar year, and that was a draw at the Etihad, which is never a bad result. I think Luton will get ripped apart a bit here. Brentford against Brighton, I've gone with a 2-2 draw. Brentford's still not safe, and despite completely outplaying Manchester United, only managed to get a point. Brighton's still going for Europe, putting a very decent display at Anfield, but unlucky not to get away with the point, I felt. I don't know how they'll deal with Brentford. Like defensively, Brentford I mean, they do concede a fair bit, but at the same time, they have looked a bit better lately. I think Man United, they look pretty solid defensively, and with Tony now fully fit again, you know, he's looked really dangerous. Brighton very open, and Bremo back. It'll be an interesting matchup. I can see Brentford winning this. Brighton can't be affording to lose these sort of games if they're going to get Europe next season. Manchester City against Aston Villa, this is a huge game, because if Villa win this, they're right on Man City's heels. But I don't think they're going to win at the Etihad. I've gone 2-1 City. Villa's high line could be perfect for Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. Haaland's missed 10 big chances and only scored 4 goals since the return from injury in 9 games, which is horrendous. He's in awful form. He's a massively overrated player. But Watkins is also out for Villa, although Duran looked really good against Wolves. Diaby will be key as well, I feel like, in this sort of game. And the way Man City were completely outplayed by Villa at Villa Park also has some bearing. But this is the Etihad, you know, Man City unbeaten here this season. They've lost once in the last year and a half, and that was to Brentford. At home, that is, by the way, not overall. I do expect Villa to give Man City a very tough game because they are a really good side. I think City will take advantage of that high line. Liverpool against Sheffield United, top against bottom. I've gone 3-2 Sheffield United, I'm joking. I've gone 2-0 Liverpool. I don't expect this to be a struggle for them, but Sheffield United will deploy a very low block. Maybe try and get to half-time at 0-0, maybe try and keep it 0-0 till the 60th minute. I just don't think they'll be able to because Liverpool do have a lot of quality. Although Salah was really poor against Brighton, it took him 11 shots to score 1 goal. Liverpool just don't stop scoring. They're really good at home. They've only dropped points in 3 home games this season in the Premier League. It'd take a miracle, I think, for Sheffield United to get something here. Although they were decent in the game at Bramall Lane. Yeah, they're going to need Breton Diaz and McBurney to play like they did against Fulham. Maybe they'll need Cameron Archer to do the same as well. Hopefully he'll be back. Even if he's on the bench, I'd love to see him playing again, man. I really like him. Finally, Chelsea, Manchester United. 2 teams who have... well, Chelsea are doing poorly on the league table. I think they've actually played okay this season, with Man United are playing horribly and somehow are in 6th. I've gone with a 1-1 draw. I mean, with the exception of the last 2 games that Man United have won, they always draw. And yeah, I don't know. Chelsea drew against Burnley. Man United drew against Brentford. I'd love it for Mason Mount to come on and score the winner in the 90th minute and run around Stamford Bridge. That'd be perfect. Chelsea definitely have more quality and have shown a lot more this season in games. You know, players like Palmer have been phenomenal. Gallagher's been very good. Mudryk's looking a lot better. Madueke's looking decent. Even Jackson's been decent. And for Man United, Højlund's been very good when he's got service, but he never gets any service, so he can't do anything. He'll get 1 chance in this game and he'll have to put it away if he wants a goal because his teammates don't give him anything. I think Dalot will be very key in this game, see how he can deal with Mudryk. Mainu's going to have a big game dealing with Palmer as well. I think them 2 are up to the task. I don't know if Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford are going to create anything for Højlund because they're both very poor players. Mason Mount will be someone that I think will have to come on and have a big impact as well. If Man not have any chance of getting anything, it'll be because of him. Hopefully, he will prove that £60 million fee was correct and there wasn't an overpay. Obviously, he's had a really bad season so far through injury. You know, he's been out for the majority of it, but he scored his first goal against Brentford. Hopefully he can get his second here. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon in our videos.